Your dog is not trying to be in charge. Your dog is not trying to be in charge of you or in charge of the situation. The dominance theory fits very neatly into our fears of the behaviors that the dog is often doing that we would label as dominant or as trying to have some kind of superiority or hierarchical over us, okay, aspect over us. Now, it also hangs around because we don't necessarily have a different way to reframe that. And so it's easy to go back into the existing belief system of separation and of hierarchy. However, your dog is not trying to be in charge, they have a charge. That's the bit that we need to reframe. So if you see that your dog is doing a behavior that makes you consider that they want to be in charge in some way, reframe it to see your dog as they have a charge. They have a charge of a feeling or an emotion that has come up in them so strongly that they want to ground that outside of themselves. They want to give that out of their body. It is a feeling that you, as guardians, as human beings, will have at times in your life too. So, for instance, if you get frustrated about something and you want to punch outwards, that is that feeling being projected out of you. And it's what we call grounding that out of us. Now, this can happen in not so negative times as well. So say, for instance, we're someone who likes to paint or we like to play the guitar and we haven't done it for ages. And we can feel that feeling building up in us. And then when we start to play the guitar or we start to paint again, we feel calm again. So this charge of energy, charge of emotion is a felt thing. Now, dogs live in the moment. I cannot stress that enough. And in fact, most of us believe that, even though we still believe in the hierarchy and dominance theory. So dogs live in the moment and they act based on how they're feeling, what charge of emotion is alive in them at that moment. And they act. And then the next moment comes along, and the next one, and the next one. And because they live in the moment, there is no association between all the behaviors. So they're not doing something to then become something else, because that would require a projection of thought and them not living in the moment. But dogs do live in the moment. Okay, so what this also does by reframing that the dog has a charge rather than is trying to be in charge, we can see what that charge might be and how we might support them to either not pick up those charges, wherever it might be that they came from, okay, or not feel those emotions in the same way, or have a different outlet for those emotions that is a safer one so that it doesn't build up in their body. So this charge of emotions is actually measurable. The Institute of Heart Math over in America have published lots of studies in terms of measuring emotions and the different charges that it brings up in our body. It's very heart-based. We feel these in our heart. They're not electrical charges coming out of our minds or our brains. These are feelings that are felt magnetically from our heart, and they're measurable on that electromagnetic spectrum. And when we're feeling something strongly, it does project out of us. And other people even say, don't they, oh, I can feel how you feel today. So this is something that does project out of us. This isn't woo-woo, this is measured. Okay, so if we want to support a dog that we think is trying to be in charge and is trying to offer behaviors that will allow them to ascend in the hierarchy, we can reframe that and we can really help that dog. And what that will do is it will give us a bigger picture of what's really going on for the dog in the whole of their lives. And we can make differences to other behaviors by focusing on the dog rather than the behaviors that they're doing. My dog's just done a shake off. I don't know if you heard that in the background, but a shake off is something all dogs do. And this is like an energy recharge, an energy neutralization, if you like. And often your dog will do that if they feel something or they've just stopped a certain action or behavior because that was related to that feeling. They'll have a shake off and they'll go, okay, where am I attracted to going next? What am I attracted to doing next? And it might be that they just then relax because they've shook off all that excess energy. Or it might be that they're focused in on something else. They've cleared their energy so they can clearly focus on something else. So perhaps you did that because I was meant to explain that to you. But in Canine Flow, we reframe what's going on in dog behavior. Okay, it doesn't mean that we don't use other dog training methods, compassionate ones, of course. However, what we have found is if we can work on the energy aspect, which we call the vital life force flow of the dog, we reduce the need for management techniques in dog training and behavior completely. And often we just completely transform the behaviors because the dog's emotional self, the dog's nervous system, the dog's vital life force flow is in homeostasis. So they are not building the charges that lead to them displaying behaviors that we feel in some way are fearful, we're concerned about them, they're scary, or they're just not what we want to see, and they make us feel as if the dog is wanting to be better than us in some way. So I hope that's made sense. And if you would like to learn more about Canine Flow, then head to canineflow.com. I've got an online course. You can message me, you can come on a retreat, or just read blogs and find out more about what it is that we do. Thanks for watching.